I know it's time for my very special guest live in the studio here. It's the awesome Dave Marshall, Planetjazzbass.
Well,
all right, Dave, how you doing?
I'm
We're
good,
very
mate.
well. How are you doing?
Well, it's Australia. You've got to be doing good. We are the lucky country, after all.
You got some good weather there, have you?
No, it's bloody freezing. It's raining. But hey, we love the rain, you know. I mean, it's a sunburnt country.
For sunburn, yeah, you need the rain, don't you?
Yeah, when it rains, that's good.
So you've been around music a long time now. How did you get into music in the first place?
Well, I actually got into music. Chubby Checker was like the first guy that really turned me on when I was sort of at limbo competitions up in the ski resort when I was a kid.
Okay.
And I really got into it. But then I went through school, you know, and I didn't choose a musical career or anything like that. I became a ski bum, and that was sort of pretty good for me, but not good for me, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, so you ask the questions, or you just want me to keep going and going?
Whatever you want to do, mate. It's it's live radio. You do what you want. So how did you get into music then? Did you join a band?
Lucky. Not really. No, I was lucky. Like, I only really got seriously into music, like picked up an instrument and started to learn it when I was about 16. So I was a late starter. But I was really fortunate that I had guys around me, like my close school friends, that a couple of them that had actually studied music. So I was able to get some really good advice early on.
So what would you say? Sorry, what's your main instrument then? Because I know you build your own guitars now and stuff.
Well, I've always been a bass player. That's my main squeeze, so to speak. But, you know, I mean, once you've been hanging around, you dabble in other things. Like, I like to play guitar, and I'm not, you know, I do muck around on the keyboard. I mean, I know where I'm going on it. I can't really do a lot with it, like, in a performance sense of the word, but I make, it adds to my recordings, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah. So your first track we got up is, sorry, carry on.
No, that's it. Off you go. Sorry, it's a bit of a lapse.
I was going to say, there is a bit of a time lapse here, but you're in Australia and I'm in France, so I would expect. And we've only got two tin cans.
I've got my sister over here at the moment. She's from Paris.
Oh, right.
There's a bit of a time lag when I'm talking to her, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I bet.
So, well, no, I'm talking to her. There's a bit of a time lag when we're in the same room. She was always a bit of a hippie hi-ho. I was more of a, you know, bourgeois anarchist.
Yeah, right. I've seen the photographs of you.
That's the main thing. Yeah.
So your first track is The Air We Breathe. What's this one all about?
Oh, I don't know. It's probably about giving up smoking. I have no idea. I just, you know, I write things. They go down. Then I always pick the name of the whatever it is after I've done it. So I can't claim to be suddenly have an epiphany and say, oh, I'm going to write a song about this or that. It doesn't work like that. But then, you know, you listen to what you're doing and you get a feeling and it comes out.
Well, here it is. This is Planetjazzbass and That's the air I breathe there from the awesome Planetjazzbass, my featured artist of the week, who's live with me here in the studio. Well, he's not in the studio, he's in Australia. I'm lying to you because I'm in France, he's Australia, and he's nowhere near me, to be honest. So, how are you doing, Dave? So
there is no awesome in my name. My name is David Charles Marshall, and people used to say to me, "Don't come Monday." That was me.
Is that your middle name? Don't come Monday.
Yeah, well, I used to drink a lot on the weekends, Okay. Didn't everyone?
Oh, yeah, definitely did.
Friday, Saturday, but most people would spend Sunday recovering. Why waste a day? You do that on Monday.
Don't come Monday.
Jesus.
So we first met on a website called Looperman.com, where you are a bit of a legend over there, aren't you? With your because I know you're a big.
I've been there for a while. Actually, I've met some great people on Looperman. It's great. I was really lucky to, just by chance stumble on that site. So I've met some great people, great contacts.
Yeah,
people like yourself.
Me too. Absolutely, yeah. No, I've met some wonderful people on there.
Yeah, just because the place is getting overrun with hip-hop dudes and dudettes. That's
I was just about to say that
I can handle it.
It's one of your favourite genres, I think, isn't it? Hip-hop and rap now?
I don't mind the music. I quite like the music. It's the attitude I have trouble with. They just need to be cuffed around the head a bit. Put their hats on the right way round,
Pull the trousers up.
Yeah, kick them in the fucking ass, stuff like that. But I do like the music, the beat is good.
Yeah, mate, anything with, well, some messages, we've had some people, some rap people, or some hip hop, I don't know what you call it, but I'm not into that sort of stuff, but we've had a few artists that have uploaded some stuff which have been really, really serious and really, a serious message, and good music behind it.
I think the demographic of hip-hop, where it started, was fantastic. It was a socio-economic thing, essentially, when it started.
Yeah.
And, life story type journey, that was great. But you get all these fake gangster, just absolute retards getting into it. That's the only part of it I don't like. I don't know. Maybe it should have stayed a black thing. You get all these little white kids from the suburbs coming in trying to emulate their heroes, and it just doesn't come across. But anyway, to each his own. It's all music. It's better than blowing up people, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, and there's nothing worse than a middle-class white rapper.
Well, hey, there's a lot to be said for middle-class white rappers, they're people can do horrible things to him. Justin Bieber, is he a rapper or what? I don't know. What would you class him as?
Not even a person. I'm not sure. I don't know what he is, to be honest.
Well, mind you, though, I was watching Eurovision, and I really liked that.
So you were the one person that watched that show?
Oh, I love Eurovision. It's really cool. I like to see goats getting milked in wind machines and all that sort of tribal, sort of like village shit that I missed out on. I can relate to that stuff. I like it. It's a European. Europeans are great. I love Europe. It's sort of like I pine, for my Scottish roots back over there in the old country, and I got stuck here on this great country, but very long way away from everyone else. Anyway.
So what is your main roots? What's your main genre? Would you say your music, is it blues or jazz?
Well, I like the best music I like, I suppose. You class me as a fusion player. I definitely like jazz because, when I was a kid, my old man, when he was young, he used to play clarinet in a jazz band, and there was always jazz music playing. So that sort of obviously influenced me. But, when Jimi Hendrix came around, I got on that train along with everyone else. And, my dad didn't like that too much. He was going, this guy, you should be listening to Benny Goodman. That guy can play. Jimi Hendrix, just all noise. However, I just went, I love rock and roll. I just, I got interested, not so much in the 60s because I was just a little bit young to really sort of sink my teeth into it. I mean, I was hearing it everywhere and watching people driving around in great cars and slick back hair, but the music, that sort of Bill Haley didn't do that much for me. And when I first heard the Beatles, I thought it was just soppy crap, but when I heard the Stones, I thought, yeah, that's what I like. So
yeah, I mean, I think those people really opened the way for the rest of them, didn't they? I mean, people like the Beatles and Bill Haley and all those bands just opened it up for the rest of us, really.
Oh, absolutely, and there's always a sort of undercurrent where there's it's the company line, and I always got that with the Beatles up until Sgt. Pepper's, mind you. Like the bands like the Doors, when they came out, they were talking about different stuff. I mean, they were obviously stoned out of their brains, and that sort of appealed to me, because by that stage, I was stoned out of my brain.
So you could understand what they were saying?
Well, yeah, I could. I mean, it's like when you walk into a bar. You can't understand what the guy next to you is saying, but, hey, have 3 or 4 beers and you're right up there with him. Or right down there with him.
So you've done a few collaborations with Bill Bozo. Can you tell us a bit about him?
Well, Bill Bozo is this Canadian guitarist who is just absolutely amazing. In fact, he was the first guy that I met sort of like Muso on the internet. He was a very, very early member of Looperman. He's not so active now. And it just turns out this guy is, he had a late start in his music career, like when he was 16, but he's like a guitar. The guy is just a fantastic guitarist. And he's a great composer, and he's just an excellent producer. Like, everything he does is really polished, and I just love, like he's got Santana, one of his favourite influences, obviously Santana, because he plays a lot of that, but he's just a great player and very progressive thinker too.
So this next track is one that you uploaded to us this week. It's called Orchestria. Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
And well, Bill Smith's his name. He wanted to do an orchestral thing, and he sort of contacted me and said, look, I'm doing this thing, would you like to play some bass on it? And I said, would I? Absolutely. Look, send it to me, see what we can do. And he sent it to me, and, well, you've got it. I'll put some stuff down. I really like the track.
That's a beautiful song, beautiful track there from Bill Bozo, and my guest who's live in the studio here with me. It's Planetjazzbass, the awesome Dave Marshall. That's quite a track, that one, Dave.
Well, I'd rather be a DCO or DFO than an awesome any day of the week. I would have preferred to have shot down, 20 Germans over the channel or something or other, so we can just leave the awesome out of it, okay?
All right, then. This is the awful Planetjazzbass.
Yeah,
so you've just finished building your a bass guitar. Obviously not your first bass guitar. How did that go for you?
Oh, it was all right. I got a few splinters, I suppose, and no, I sort of wanted to do it because I was looking for a sound. I mean, everyone, guys that play guitar and what have, I mean, I'm glad I'm not a keyboard player. Hey, imagine trying to build a keyboard. I mean, building a guitar is no big deal, but, I suppose necessity is the mother of invention. I really didn't want to go out and spend, too much folding getting a guitar, so I've sort of got enough guitars now, I think.
So, did you get the sound you were looking for on it?
Well, I did, but, then I went out and spent $40 getting these strings just the other day, or just arrived the other day from America, and they made my other guitar sound just as good. So, hey, it's all swings and roundabouts.
That's how it goes, isn't it? So what does the future hold for Planetjazzbass?
The future? Well, apart from the obvious, the Grim Reaper. Before that. Oh, before that. Well, I look forward to, doing a lot more music, because the thing I like about music, I visualise it in my head first. I'm sort of like a method player. You know how you hear about a method actor? I don't go away and learn things, but I think a lot of the time, I mean, I find all my inspiration not from the future, but in the past, because I'm only slowly figuring it all out now. I think the future's just too hard basket for me. So I'll be drawing inspiration from something that happened 20, 30 years ago, and which is still totally relevant to me.
So you're still making music and you're still recording stuff and...
Oh, yeah, I will be. I've had a little bit of a dip where I haven't done much, but that's okay. Hey, it could be worse. I could be Guns N' Roses. They didn't do anything for fucking 10 years, didn't they?
Absolutely. I didn't do anything for 30 years. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean...
not that I'm Guns N' Roses, but,
So, yeah, I'm a bit jealous of you because you're a singer. It's something I've never been able to do.
Yeah.
It's something I'd really like to do because... you can really articulate quite sophisticated ideas through singing, obviously. Whereas when you're playing, you can get great mood and great groove or what have you, but it just is missing that ephemeral human element that I think singing brings to it. I mean, I'd be a lot happier, I think, if I had long blonde hair and I could play the guitar and accompany myself and sing. I think that'd be great. But
well, I think as a singer, I mean, for me, people send me music, and if sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But if it touches a chord inside you, it can, as you say, you can. If it can get that feeling out of you, you can then go off and write the lyrics and do the thing. But if it doesn't, then you're lost. So you do need the feeling in the music to start with. For me anyway. Well,
tell me this though. Like when I listen to you on loop radio, I hear this. You've got good timbre in your voice. You've got sort of like you don't stutter. You don't have any of those sort of hang-ups. Could you always sing, or was it something that just came out of that?
I was always singing at school in choirs. I don't know where it came from, and then as soon the first chance I got, I left school and went into bands and did that for 7 days a week for 8 years. So, but I wasn't a very good singer. And I don't think I'm a very good singer now, but not good enough to
Well,
to front a proper rock band.
You definitely pull your weight. I mean, I got to admit to you though, I've been in a few bands, and the only guys I actually hit were singers. Broke a couple of singers' noses actually, and I feel good about that because I did the right thing.
Yeah, there are some singers like that you need to do that to sometimes.
Well, I'm a redhead, you know. I mean, I've been persecuted. I was persecuted from a young age. You know, you have a tendency to stand up and whack people when that happens to you.
Do you mean ginger?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You're ginger. Well, yeah.
No one ever called me that. They used to call me blood nut.
Blood nut. That's your Scottish heritage, that is.
Or red bugger, and that usually got a bit of retaliation. You know, get your retaliation in first. It's the best lesson anyone can ever learn.
So you are the only person I know, well, that I've spoken to, or that has written a song about a porn star, apart from probably Princess Hollywood, who knows a few. But so you've written a song about Johnny Holmes. How did that come about?
Well, this is before the internet, mind you. You know, when we had to if we wanted to watch porn, we had to get someone that had a 16mm projector or something or other. I mean, it's dead easy.
A big sheet on the wall. A big sheet on the wall, was it?
You couldn't sit there behind your computer screen and have a cotton wool by yourself. When you were watching porn, it was usually 20 other blokes, you know. And I have to admit, I did watch a bit. I mean, why wouldn't I? I mean,
absolutely,
the guy is an absolute legend.
King Dong.
And we all wish that we could emulate him, but unfortunately that will never come to pass.
So this is Planetjazzbass and his homage to Johnny Holmes.
problem.
That's Johnny Holmes there with Planetjazzbass with Johnny Holmes. So that's the third of my tracks with my guest, Planetjazzbass, here in the studio. So, Dave, thanks for coming on. It's been great to talk to you.
Thank you very much.
And we hope to hear more from you in the future.
You shall. It's, I've got to get more political. I've got to get angry.
Angry.
It's got to come out. There's just so much shit going on. I've got to say something about it.
Well, you're quite known for your forthrightness, aren't you? If that's what we can call it.
My fourth what?
Forthrightness.
5 fingers on each hand.
5 rightness. My 5th rightness.
Well, I was only wrong once, and that's when I thought I was wrong.
So do you think that comes with age, being able to stand up and say what you feel and not worry about it?
No, I've always been a bit like that. Got it from my old man, I think. I don't know.
It's better than being the other way, isn't it?
It's a ginger thing.
A ginger thing.
It's a redhead thing. I don't know.
Well, it's been brilliant having you on, and we look forward for lots more music. Ladies and gentlemen, my special guest, the awesome Dave Marshall. Awesome again, yeah, the awesome Planetjazzbass.
Thank you.